Good day, lords and ladies. Welcome back to Rosewater. In the last episode, we found Dr. Clark, and we found that he's basically making death rays for the military, which you sort of suspected, to be honest. From early on when you saw what was happening, like at the expo and stuff, it was pretty obvious that someone was interested in his research for that element of it. So now we're trying to figure out how to escape his lab and how to take Dr. Clark with us. Okay. So I think we need to get into his quarters. And I think we need to smuggle a banana into her pocket.
Clark will see me.
Okay.
I haven't got any questions.
No, thank you. I do not care for bananas.
Okay, so we need to figure out how to get...
Get that out of here. No foodstuffs of any kind in the testing chamber. Get that out.
Okay.
Clark will see. A couple of wires from that food heating device. Putting that on the desk wouldn't serve any purpose.
I don't understand why you
Okay.
I can't charge. I can't charge that.
Okay, we need to figure out how to get in. Throw the banana at the generator.
I'd better not. Who knows if this thing is
No thanks. Those are too sweet for my taste.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
That seems like a surefire way to get vaporized. That won't go in the... It doesn't fit.
Okay.
I'm not sure why you...
Can't think of it. I can see that.
Okay, so we need to get him out of the lab. How are we going to do this? No, stay in the lab. Okay.
Hey, Phil. Think you might occupy Dr. Clark's attention for a few minutes?
Of course. I can be very engaging after all. Dr. Clark, may I have a moment?
Yes, what is it?
Let's put a banana on a person.
She's busy. Clark will see.
Okay.
Hey. Thank you.
Of course. Dr. Clark?
Okay.
Hey. Thank you.
Dr. Clark?
Oh, we just can't get it in time.
I should wait until she's occupied. I should wait. I should wait. I should. Clark will see.
Oh, come on. Okay.
Hey. Thank you.
Dr. Clark?
There. Now to watch the fireworks.
What? Miss Montgomery, what is the meaning of this? How many times have I said, no food in the testing chamber?
But I
don't want excuses. Clear it out. Put away the power cell. Done with testing today.
Yes, Dr. Clark.
I apologize for that, Miss Leger, but I'm very particular about rules.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Dr. Clark?
Yes, what is it?
Let's try this one.
Dr. Clark, there's something I need to tell you. We're not really new hires.
What? Who are you then?
Some folks who were hired by D.W. Shaw to come find you.
The head of Vespuccia Petrol.
The very same.
What does she want with me?
She wants you to help her company pivot from oil to ethericity.
How does she intend to circumvent the ban?
She seems to think it'll be lifted soon, or that she can influence things in that direction.
So she would have me work for VP to generate etheric energy for widespread use?
As an alternative power source, yes. It might even replace coal and oil someday.
Well, that's certainly more appealing than weaponry. But extreme arrangements have been made to develop this project in secret, and at considerable expense, I'm sure. It's not the sort of thing one can just walk away from.
I'm not so sure Laporte is acting in his capacity as a military general with the full backing and authority of the Vespuccian government here. We've seen plenty of things that don't add up. The clandestine nighttime shipments, the hired private agents, the hidden underground base, all the convoluted arrangements here. The fact that all this research is still technically illegal. I think this is all a side gig. Some kind of secret conspiracy running on misappropriated funds. Don't you see? That means he doesn't have power over you. You could expose everything that's going on here. You'd have leverage over him.
I think that means he could send someone to murder me to keep me quiet, and not lose a wink of sleep over it. That's not exactly convincing me to leave.
So you're dead set on staying here? You won't consider Shaw's offer?
I admit it's enticing, but is it worth the risk?
If it's Laporte you're afraid of, I'm sure Shaw can protect you.
Can she? The General is a powerful man. I'm not willing to risk getting on his bad side.
If nothing else, don't you want to get back into the world again?
Perhaps, but not badly enough to defy the Vespuccian military.
Laporte doesn't have to know anything about this. We could fake your death somehow and get you away.
Miss Leger, let's not be ridiculous.
I'll let you get back to it.
Thank you.
Can't think of anything.
Okay.
Not well, Clark. I don't think I'm allowed in there.
Okay.
All right there, Danny?
Yep.
Okay, we need to figure out a way.
I've got nothing to add.
Okay.
Can we talk?
I suppose so.
Just how long have you been working down here?
Good question. It's difficult keeping track of time. We're in September, right?
November, actually.
Oh, then it's been longer than I thought. We came down here in March.
What sparked your interest in etheric research?
I followed Dr. Clark's career from the early days. He was one of the first to begin advancing etheric theory with practical experiments. Not only that, he was getting results. After I graduated from university, I sent him my thesis on the effects of ethericity on plants and animals. I guess that made me one of the few practical researchers out there, too. He wrote back immediately with an offer of employment.
How do you keep from getting bored?
The work is pretty all-consuming, and we don't have much of a social scene down here. Dr. Clark is kind enough to lend us his books to pass the quiet hours.
Do you know who built this place?
I suppose this is an old army base, but Clark's had it fitted with some really state-of-the-art equipment. We're lucky to be so well-resourced.
I was blown away by that demonstration. Figuratively speaking, of course.
Huh. We've been working on it non-stop, but there are a lot of kinks to work out before it'll be field-ready. For instance, we still can't get more than one shot out of each power cell. I suppose in an actual battlefield situation, you'd need to carry around a lot of cells and reload for every shot, like cannonballs. But the power cells are still very difficult to construct, so we only have a few prototypes. We have to recharge them constantly.
How long does it normally take to charge one of the power cells?
Around 6 hours.
Wow.
Wow is right. Joshua hooked one up to the etheric generator and discovered that it charged instantly. But Dr. Clark wasn't happy about it.
Why not?
He said it made the power cell unstable. But we didn't have to wait all day for the next trial, and Joshua was even able to get 2 shots out of that one. The overcharge effect is certainly something we should investigate later.
Between you and me, doesn't it concern you that ethericity is being weaponized?
Not at all. It's a powerful energy source, and this is one of many practical applications.
Sure, but isn't it better to use it for less destructive purposes?
We live in a dangerous world, and these are uncertain times. Other nations probably have their own etheric weaponry development programs underway. If we didn't pursue this research, we'd be falling behind. A new weapon is most useful as a deterrent. Having it in your back pocket means everyone else thinks twice before firing on you. I know Dr. Clark's had some moral reservations about the military applications of ethericity, but he's a professional through and through.
So, what's working with Dr. Clark like?
He's a brilliant man. I learn something new from him every day.
He seems short-tempered.
Well, yes, but that's just the genius mind, isn't it? No room left over for navigating social niceties.
Can you tell me anything about General Laporte?
Not really. I know he's the one overseeing this project, but I've never had the opportunity to speak with him.
Exactly how do you go about calling the elevator?
We don't. None of us have the code.
So you're trapped down here? What if there's an emergency?
That's what the communication relay is for. We contact the guard upstairs, and he can take care of whatever we need.
What was that about a fast...
Joshua figured out that hooking the power cell, but Dr. Clark discouraged it. It's nice to have someone new to talk to.
Okay. So we need to basically get a power cell and hook it up to something.
Can't think of it. Dr. Clark?
Yes.
Let's try that one.
You'd prefer your research be used to find new ways to kill people?
No, but I...
Look, I understand. You suffered a terrible setback after the expo. I'm sure it must have been hard. You probably felt like nobody would ever take you seriously again.
You have no idea.
I do know that if I were in your shoes, I'd have probably grabbed onto any lifeline. But I can tell your heart's not really in it, especially knowing what it is you're building.
Yes, well...
So you're gonna squander this opportunity to do some real good in the world because you're afraid of a stuffy old general?
You're right, Miss Leger. This isn't about me. This is about humanity. I'll come with you. But... oh goodness. How shall we... We need to do this discreetly. My assistants can't know what's going on. I'm going to my quarters to settle some things. Excuse me.
Damn. The Revolution could use someone with your persuasive skills.
Too bad my Spanish is lousy.
Okay. Yeah, managed to convince the Clark to create a new source of abundant energy for the company, Vespuccia Petrol Company. It's more noble. I still doubt that. I don't like the idea of giving sole control of like the equivalent of nuclear power to a private corporation. We're shady on account of a rogue arm of the military, which also is bad. Like, we just assume that he's a rogue arm. I don't know. It could be just basically the bureaucracy doing it without telling the president. Now I have to figure out how to escape. Okay.
Locked. Got it. I'm sure they won't miss just one power cell.
Okay.
Let's hope nobody notices this is missing.
So, we've got the gun. Let's charge the gun. Okay.
There's nowhere to plug the power cell in. This seems like a... Here we go. Hope this works. Wow, it charged up almost instantly. Locked and loaded.
Disintegrate the metal hats on the plate.
If I shoot the panel, I'll just break it. We'll be stuck down here. If I shoot...
Okay.
Ah, hello. I'm just leaving a note for my assistants.
Explaining why you're giving them the slip?
I feel I owe it to them.
Okay.
It's a ferrotype of Clark's old lab near Rosewater. A ferrotype of... At least there's plenty of books down here. Who are those busts?
Galileo, Copernicus, Da Vinci. 3 great men who changed the world as we know it.
Hoping to add your likeness to the collection someday?
Well, I wouldn't be opposed. If I'd earned it, of course.
A toolbox. Might I borrow your screwdriver, Dr. Clark?
By all means.
That is one messy desk. What is it they say about desks and minds? Dr.
Yes, what is it?
Something I've been wondering about. When we first started looking for you, the idea was floated, let's say, that you had a stash somewhere of cash left over from investments in your research that had to be concealed once the work became illegal. Is there any truth to that notion?
You're asking me to tell you if I have a secret hidden fortune.
Well, I don't expect you to tell me where or hand it over or anything. I'm just burning to know if there was really anything to the rumor at all, or if it was all just dust and fairy tales.
What do you think?
I want to believe you.
Call me a romantic, but I just have a feeling there's more to this story. You strike me as a man who might have some tricks up his sleeve, and 1 or 2 secrets. Did you know that a group of ethericity worshippers flocked to your old lab and set up a commune there?
My lab in Rosewater?
Yup. We met them when we went there looking for clues as to your whereabouts. They picked everything clean. Built a kind of museum to you and your work.
I had no idea, but my work always attracted strange sorts. Curious gawkers would show up now and again, hoping to catch a glimpse of something spectacular. Or the angry bereaved, threatening vengeance for the victims of the disaster. It's been quite a relief not having to worry about all that down here.
That commune by your lab, they're from a religious movement calling themselves the Luminarians. They believe a whole bunch of gobbledygook about glowing people who live in the ether. And people who die from ethericity being really lucky because they go to etheric heaven or something, and they like to paint shadows and butterflies all over everything for some reason. They also think you're some sort of saint or prophet, and there's a mural with a painting of you looking like you're going through this kind of portal in space and talking to some glowy angel alien creatures.
Wow.
I'll let you get back to it.
Thank you.
Yeah, like, how do you respond to that? It's like, oh yeah, by the way, someone's founded a cult on you while you're still alive. I mean, we took the gun. Which means they're going to be hunting for us now. Because we have the only working prototype.
There we go.
Really? They bolted to dock? I suppose they would have needed some way. Okay.
A strange wooden card lined with metal. It's got some holes on one side.
So it's...
Interesting. This metal plate has several contact points. Well, how about that?
Okay. Two, three. Okay. It's 2, 3, 5. Okay. 2, 3, 5. Okay. 2, 3, 5, 8.
Guess that wasn't the right code.
Eight, 5, 3, 2.
Guess that wasn't the right code.
Okay. So 3, 2, 5, 8.
Guess that wasn't the right code.
Okay.
There must be a way to figure out which buttons to press. The configuration of the piston seems to be the key. Haven't I seen something like this recently?
I don't know what they're talking about, the position. What do they mean recently?
Appears to... It's displaying all flashing light. Looks like some... The lab assistant...
Oh, this is going to be annoying. Because this is the game saying something about... It's like, where have I seen it recently? Okay, there's 6, there's 5, 57, 6. These aren't anything to do with that.
Looks like a more...
Ferric bars.
Hey, Phil? I can't quite figure out this doohickey that runs the elevator.
It seems pressing the buttons causes those pistons to lower, no? Clearly there is some configuration that will call the elevator. Perhaps it has something to do with the keycard you used above ground.
Hey, Dan.
Yes, Harley.
I'm not sure what to make of the elevator device.
It looks complicated.
Little pistons come down.
So you're looking for the right combination or pattern? Maybe it has to do with that keycard you used to get down here.
No, we know that bit, but I just don't know the number sequence.
Just like the one in the courtyard. Well, how about that?
So we know it's 2.
Guess that wasn't the right code. Guess that wasn't the right code. Still not getting it. I wish this contraption just had a keycard slot like the one on the surface. I wonder. Odd device.
It would probably be...
I can't figure out how we're supposed to get through this. A
strange wooden card like... I have no... Guess that wasn't the right code. Guess that wasn't the right code. Well, how about that? Guess that wasn't the right code.
I don't want to be stuck doing this, folks. Because I can't. Because the thing is, the game assumes that you can remember sequences for certain things. I really can't figure out where the clue is, so I'm just going to quick look it up and be right back. Okay. I just looked up because I wanted to know how we were supposed to do this. And it's a bit strange. Let's go and talk to Dr. Clark and see if he can give us any more info.
Dr.
Yes.
So how do we make our escape without alerting your assistants?
First things first. We need to call the elevator so we have a way out. But we also need to find a way to disable the communications relay. Otherwise, the alarm will be raised and they'll catch us in no time.
So how can we call the elevator?
Good question. It requires a 4-digit code. To my knowledge, the only people who know it are General Laporte and the guard upstairs.
Too bad I didn't think to ask what it was before getting rid of him.
Without that code, we are stuck.
I'll figure something out. Could you explain this communications relay thing?
Of course. Next to the elevator, there's a device we can use to contact the person standing guard upstairs. It's mainly for emergency use. If the guard doesn't respond after a time, the wires relay the signal to Laporte's office.
So we need to disable it to keep Laporte from suspecting anything.
Precisely.
I'll let you get...
Thank you.
Okay. Surface, no one talked to, in a way to guard out the commission. Any answer signals set the alarm bell in general port office. So before we can make a break for it, we'll have to get down here and take out the relay. Okay. I think taking out the relay should be easy as just shooting that.
This is going to be loud. I should make sure the elevator's ready to take us... This contraption... I have no idea...
Like we put the card on here, yeah?
Well, how about that?
But we still don't know the combination.
Guess that wasn't the right...
Okay, 1 second.
That was it.
Like, I don't know where the clue for that was supposed to be. They said, oh, you can just put it in, make it super simple.
I figured out the code. The elevator's ready to be called.
I don't know how you're supposed to figure that out.
Excelente. Let us make our escape.
Not just yet. I need to take care of the communications relay.
The what?
That contraption on the wall there. Clark said we need to disable it before we leave.
Okay.
Stand back. I'm taking this thing out.
Whoa! Híjole!
I thought the plan was to do this discreetly.
Desperate times and all that. Now come on, let's get out of here.
You're taking the prototype, I see. Wait, where did you get a charged power cell? We only charged one up, and we used it in the demonstration.
I hooked this one up to the etheric generator.
You what? That's incredibly dangerous. That kind of unfiltered surge would leave the power cell completely unstable. Unless it's discharged within the next, 20 minutes. It will explode.
Oh, we'll have to worry about that later. Let's get back topside before your assistants figure out what's going on.
If that power cell starts glowing white, you had better let me know quick.
Okay, into the elevator.
After you, Doctor.
Oh no. It's the law.
Hold it right there.
Shouldn't you be cowering under your bed?
Shut up. Hand over your weapons and come with us. There's someone wants to see you.
Taking some air, Dr. Clark? Kindly stand over there if you would. You three, up against the wall.
She had this funny pistol on her.
Ah, there it is. Can't let this fall into the wrong hands, can we? Now, have you got anything to say for yourself?
Let's say, how did you find us?
How did you know we were here?
I had you followed after our encounter at the Jolly Good Club. You thieves are all the same.
We are not thieves.
No? You raided my supply wagon, broke into my private room, took my keycard from my safe, and stole my etheric pistol. If you're not thieves, you should consider taking it up. You're naturals.
Didn't know the wagon was yours.
Don't turn this around on us. You're clearly the villain here.
Oh, is that what you think? It's clear to me you've no idea what you've stepped into. So, who put you up to this?
The DW sword, Gentleman Jack, not going to tell you. So sore. No, we're not going to tell you.
You think I'm gonna tell you?
Perhaps there is honor among thieves. We've chatted long enough.
General, what are you doing?
Conducting my own test, Doctor. It's time to see if your prototype really works.
Not so fast, Laporte. I would strongly advise you not to fire that pistol.
And just who in blazes are you?
Timothy King, representing D.W. Shaw and Vespuccia Petrol.
Why have you come to this little summit?
Miss Leger and her companions were charged with delivering Dr. Clark to my employer. They are the company's responsibility. I have to insist you stop interfering with our agents and let them go.
You can't be serious.
I am.
Boys, take care of this louse.
Stand down, pendejo!
Lieutenant General!
Well, we've got all kinds coming out of the woodwork tonight. And who might you be?
Lieutenant General Marisol de la Vega. You must be General Laporte.
Seems you new Spanish revolutionaries are much cleverer than I was led to believe.
Cabron.
General Marquez assigned me to trace the suspicious shipments of Aurum passing through Fort Beaumont. The trail led here.
Well, bully for you. Perhaps if you attended more to affairs in your own country, you rebels could accomplish more than mounting the occasional irritating riot for Spain to put down. But instead, here you are irritating me.
I gotta put a bullet in your head, Laporte.
Do so, and you'll receive one in kind. That goes for Mr. King as well.
It would seem we have reached an impasse.
Not quite.
Jake?
I knew he'd be back!
Mr. Ackerman, I presume?
That's right. And you are?
General William Laporte.
Well, now we're acquainted, we can get to business. Harley, can you and the others step aside, please?
What are you doing, Jake?
What I should have done back at the wagon. Now move. General Laporte, I challenge you to a gentleman's duel.
Oh, please. Is the sad old washed-up cowboy that desperate for one last chance at glory?
No. He's looking for one last chance to do right by his friends. Now draw.
Jake, you don't have to do this.
Afraid I do, Miss Leger. 3, 2, 1.
Heads up, cobarde!
Miss Leger, are you unharmed?
I think so. You all right, Danny?
Yeah.
I can't believe... Guess deep down you were a hero after all.
Let's get off this rock, shall we?
Well done, Lieutenant General. I knew you would come through.
Of course, Comandante. Now that we have discovered the destination of Laporte's clandestine Orem shipments, how shall we proceed?
It is clear the General will no longer be needing his Orem. How remarkable that in his final moments he chose to donate it all to the glorious cause of the revolution. You will find it all stashed away down in the base underground. I leave the arrangements in your hands.
Will you be returning with me?
Not just yet. I need to return with the others to collect our payment.
Very well. We can rendezvous on the island later.
We're back, ma'am.
I assume everything has been taken care of?
All loose ends have been tied.
Splendid. Send them in. You've no idea how pleased I am at your success. It's good to finally make your acquaintance, Doctor. I am D.W. Shaw.
The pleasure is all mine, madame.
We have much to discuss. First, I must conclude my business with Miss Leger and her companions.
Of course.
You've been through a great deal. I cannot thank you enough.
Yeah, like Jake died, we were killed tonight.
We were almost killed, you know.
I imagined it would be a dangerous undertaking. Yet here you stand before me. I won't keep you any longer. Here is your payment. Mr. Ackerman was promised 25,000, but considering all your trouble, I've increased it to 27. I'm sure you'll find it easier to divide.
Thank you, Mrs. Shaw.
Pleasure doing business with you. Before you go, I made some inquiries and learned a few rather compelling things about General Laporte. I could share the information if you like.
Go on, then.
It seems General Laporte was a staunch supporter of Mr. Atwood's trade party. Quite vocal about his desire for the advancement of steam tech and etheric research. There were also rumours that he held some more controversial opinions regarding this country's sovereignty.
He was a separatist?
Apparently so.
You think Project Rosewater was meant to arm some kind of etheric revolution?
I am merely relaying the information I've learned. Anything beyond that is pure speculation. The only person with knowledge of Laporte's motives is the man himself.
And that information died with him. Well, with him gone and the prototype pistol destroyed, whatever plans he had can't come to fruition.
For now, yes. But I can tell you one thing about this world. It is rare that one accomplishes anything of note alone.
We should get back to our hotel. It's been a long night.
Indeed. Goodbye, Miss Leger. I hope you and your friends enjoy the rest of your time in El Presidio.
And thank you, Miss Leger. I appreciate your facilitating this new opportunity.
Best of luck to you, Dr. Clark. This was all very enlightening. So, what are you two planning on doing next?
Lieutenant General de la Vega has secured Laporte's Aurum. That, along with his money, will go quite a long way to funding the revolution. We will have no trouble procuring arms now our coffers are nearly bursting.
What about you, Danny?
I'm not really sure. Suppose it wouldn't be such a bad idea to visit my folks. It's been too long. After that, guess I've got to find a new line of work.
On that subject, how would you feel about joining the new Spanish Revolution?
What? Really?
You have proven yourself to be a skilled gunslinger. We could use someone with your talents.
I don't know. I'm not really the fighting type.
I beg to differ. You are one of the strongest men I have ever encountered. It would be an honor to fight alongside you. What do you say, compadre?
All right. I'll do it.
Excelente!
And what about you, Harley?
Suppose I'll head back to Rosewater. I've got an article to write after all.
So, this is where we bid each other farewell, eh?
This is where we part ways, for now. But you know where to find me, and you can be damn sure I'll write back. I'll see you both around. It was a real pleasure traveling with you.
Hasta luego.
So long.
I'm back.
Well, look what the cat dragged in.
Did I miss anything while I was gone?
Let's see. There was a dust devil by the saloon that nearly knocked Sheriff Gamble's hat off.
Front page news, then.
Seriously, though, I spoke with the leader of the Autumn. She gave me some good stuff. The article runs next week. What of your great adventure?
Concluded now, but I've got plenty of material for an article. Maybe even 5.
Then you'd best get to it. Better to jot everything down while it's still fresh.
Right you are, boss. They say the end of every journey marks the beginning of another. If there's any truth to that, this writer hopes the next one is decidedly duller. My companions and I set out from Rosewater and traveled across the Vespuccian frontier, encountering bandits, rebels, visionaries, eccentrics, and many more friends and foes. We were led to believe that our quest was for Dr. Bennett Clark's missing fortune, but as it turned out, we were on the trail of the very man himself. The following is an account of that journey, with no detail spared, no fact left unrelated. And so at the journey's end, you may ask yourself, dear reader, what of the main players in this saga? Danny joined Phil's revolution and accompanied him back south. The two of them have led a successful campaign, driving back the Spanish army and claiming large stretches of territory as safe havens for the people of New Spain. The fight is far from over, but the spirit of the revolution is stronger than ever. Nadine Redbird has written to tell me she has fully recovered from her wounds and begun the process of obtaining her medical license. She tells me she plans to convert Lola Johnson's wagon into a kind of mobile clinic, traveling the frontier helping those in need. It will be a welcome change from the usual traveling merchants hawking miracle cures. I can think of no one more qualified to dispense medical care. As for Miss Johnson, this new business venture will hopefully be more to her liking. At the very least, she now sets her own course, rather than bending to the whims of her clients. Miss Johnson and I never much saw eye to eye. She probably wouldn't even have liked me writing that, come to think of it. Still, it's reassuring to know that she has found some happiness with Nadine. Naturally, I cannot fail to comment on Gentleman Jake Ackerman, the man who set this whole adventure in motion. My relationship with Jake could best be described as complex. While I never found myself taken with his tales, he seemed to me a genuine hero. That illusion was shattered when we were ambushed by Blackburn agents on the way to El Presidio. Jake disgracefully turned and fled, leaving us to face the ruthless barbarians on our own. However, he proved his true heroism when he returned in another moment of need. Jake bravely gave his life to save us from the wicked machinations of General Laporte. The etheric blast burned his shadow on a nearby wall, which has since become a monument to his bravery. I am told that it is visited daily by Jake's fans, admirers, and the odd curious traveler. In death, Jake managed to achieve the status of legendary hero he so craved. As for Dr. Clark, he seems happy in his new employment at Vespuccia Petrol. I can only hope his contributions to Mrs. Shaw's enterprise offer greater balm to the restless, inventive mind than the manufacture of apocalyptic weaponry. That, dear readers, is the long and the short of it. This was an adventure unlike any other I've been on. I doubt any other will ever compare. Whew, my hand hurts. We'll see what Joni has to say about this in the morning. Well, what do you think?
You want my honest opinion?
Ouch. That bad, is it?
No, not at all. It's great, actually. There's just no way on God's green earth we can print this.
Why not?
Secret underground laboratories, government conspiracies, special projects to develop etheric weapons. No one will believe a word of it. Not to mention you name some very powerful and important people who'd have me locked up for libel with a snap of a finger.
You're telling me I spent all night writing this article for nothing?
No, let's not be hasty. Maybe what you wrote just wasn't what you meant to write.
Come again?
This story's got everything. Adventure, mad scientists, conspiracies, betrayals. Folk could pay through the nose to read this. If it were a novel.
Novel?
Sure. All you have to do is change the names, do a little narrative restructuring. You can even say it's based on actual events. That way we're off the hook if anyone's feathers get ruffled. What do you think?
A whole book, huh?
Trust me, I have a nose for these things. This one smells like a hit. You're sitting on a pile of aurum.
All right. I'll do it.
Excellent. Now all we need's a title.
That's your job, isn't it?
Suppose it is. It needs to be something catchy. Something simple yet evocative. Something like...
And there we go, folks. Got to the end of the game. I have been told there's more than 15 different endings. It's a shame that we lost Jake. I'd have liked to have kept Jake alive. I wonder if there was a way to save him. There probably is, to be honest. But it's the old saying goes, you either die a hero or you live to see yourself become a villain. And I thoroughly enjoyed this game. I really did. I liked the fact that the game was fully voice acted as well. Really added a lot of depth. I have played some point and click adventure games where there is no voice dialogue. But this was lovely. I really enjoyed this game. I normally don't do point and click adventure games, but this was a lot of fun, and my hat's off to the developers. You can find Rosewater on Steam, and I see you all again next time, folks. I've been Cornish-Knight. This has been a Cornish Let's Play series for Rosewater. Goodbye, everybody. Until next time.